Hey, here are 3 reasons why you should start a YouTube channel. Number 1, you're probably more dope and interesting than you probably already think you are. Number 2, you become a lot more comfortable being uncomfortable. 3, it's like a life diary.
Victory is mine!
You have things, stories, and experiences that you've been able to go through that you have your own opinion of, that you have your own perspective about. These are things that can possibly relate to the people that are watching your videos and you don't even know it. You never know who's actually watching your video. A lot of the times I find myself telling somebody a story and I'm just going on and on about it, and next thing you know, they're like, oh man, I didn't even believe that was happening to young black folk like that. And I'm like, I just did what I did. And they say, well, how'd you do it? I'm like, survival mode. Like, I had to. There was no way for me to just not do it. I knew that I had to get something done. It's like building a community of people who actually support you, all because you were willing, you were able, and you were focused enough to just do it. I mean, seriously, the life you live can inspire people. I remember a time where I just wanted a car that had a round dash, and now I have, well, I have my own issue with feeling like this is boasting, but this is to prove a point. Now, I have things like this. I have my Corvette that I absolutely love, and something came off a truck and hit me right there. I was super pissed, but I know it'll buff out. But I have this car, and people love seeing these. You know, they get around and then they say, oh my gosh, what do you do? What do you do? And I say, look, I'm trying to figure that out. Then I have we have other cars, and then even the Tesla. But here's the thing, I've made videos talking about how much this Tesla has really just ticked me off because it just breaks here, it breaks there, and I start complaining about me not wanting it anymore and trying to sell it, probably trade it off. And then I get to just look back at a time where I remember when I blew a head gasket in a car and I didn't even have bus fare. When I told that story to one of my other viewers on my other channel, they were able to say, oh, thank you, you inspired me. And I was just going on about my own personal experience. Those are the type of moments that put things into perspective for you to say, oh, maybe I do have something to offer the world. Number 2, you become a lot more comfortable being uncomfortable. But it gets better though, because those things that you were uncomfortable with become a lot more comfortable. Oh, and trust me, I know it's just not very comfortable having to speak to people or basically just look at the camera and try to carry on a conversation. Look, I have a master's in marketing, and I still, whenever I have to speak in front of people, even on a topic that I just may know a lot about, guess what? I still get nervous. I still get the butterflies. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be new. It's going to be confusing, but it's something that you're able to do. I don't know how many times I've used this analogy, but I tell people, look, it's just like when you're a baby and you're learning how to walk. Of course, you're going to be stumbling and just be doing all of this stuff. After a while, you end up walking a little straighter. Next thing you know, the little thing is just running across. You know, you're just running. Nobody taught you how to run. You just become so well acquainted with walking on your own 2 feet that you've been able to take it to the next level. And now you're running and you become more confident in about what you're doing. Like right now, I'm fairly confident that I'm doing pretty well talking into this little bitty tiny mic. Do I like it? Not so much, but it gets the job done. Uncomfortable situations are going to always come in life. Like I still find that to this day. And with those uncomfortable conversations and uncomfortable environments, being able to be a lot more confident in yourself allows you to just sit back and be like, it is what it is. 3, it's like a life diary. But I love reason number 3 because it's your story. You get to tell it how you like to tell it. Storytelling is one of the most fundamental things about life whatsoever. People enjoy a good story. And when you're able to look back at your videos, you get to see a start, a middle, an end. That in itself is of a lot of value. You know, you get the sentimental value. You also get the value of being able to see how far you've been able to come along. You don't have to be the next Mr. Beast. You don't have to be some famous YouTube or social media influencer to still make a difference in not only your life, but somebody else's. I mean, I got some pretty embarrassing videos out there. No one knows who's watching your videos until they engage with it, until they interact, until they comment. And when they do, that's when you get that little piece of feedback that either says, hey, you're doing well, I loved your video, or hey, you could do this, you can change this, your lighting should be like this, and that. I mean, that's how I ended up learning a lot of the things that I do to this day and taking that and incorporating it into a style that fit me. And if being a big time social media influencer is your thing, then guess what? I ain't got no shade on you. Do that because that's the goal that you're trying to create. That's the goal that you want to go after. Then do it. And just know that there's going to be things that you get to learn, that you get to try try and you're going to fail at doing, but be comfortable failing. It's going to be a little bit rough for you. Go ahead and get comfortable with those 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 views. Hours into editing, and just to see it get 5 views can be really just hit all the feels. It can be devastating to one's own ego. Is it really that bad? Yes. It is really that bad. No, we did a reaction and I was like, oh, I never want to do that again. I was just in the camera. I had no actual value really added to it outside of me just, just talking about something for way too long. I mean, after you make your points, you make your points. You don't have to keep carrying it on. Oh, I'm doing it again. You don't have to copy anybody. You don't have to do as they do. And you do not have to compare yourself to someone else. Like I'm always saying, comparison is the thief of joy. That's why I believe that you should just make your YouTube channel. Whatever it's going to be about, just start. Even if you don't know what it's going to be about, it's okay. As long as you get a starting point. Hey, look, the grass may be greener on the other side, but guess what? It's just as difficult to mow. That's all the time I have for today. Those are my 3 reasons. You will eventually find your own way. Are those Christmas lights? I gotta take these Christmas lights down. Be cool, be great, be awesome. And as always, see you at the finish line. Oh, this is what day is it? This is day 19 of me posting a new video to YouTube every day for 365 days.